people are passing exams.
This call is now
So
being
that is the
recorded.
important thing. So I'm taking you case study, but in case study, there are some things that you need to understand in case study. There are some things that you need. Please confirm that you are still seeing my screen. Oh,
We can see it.
okay, thank you. So now, today, I would love to just tell us the introduction to case study. But this introduction is very, very important. Very, very important because I will be telling you some information that you will as well need in your report when you started the practical aspect of it. But thank God that the class is recording, so we can as well share to those people that are not available. So because this diet, we are going to fast as much as possible. By March ending, we will end the lecture. So we will now be expecting. So what we will now be doing is that give students assignments, then let them write and return the assignments for marking. So that's what we will now be doing. So that means by March we are going to end the by well, I don't not for other subjects, but for case study. So I assure you that even before that time, I will have tell you, teach you, lecture you what is necessary for you to know for you to pass that particular exam, this particular case study exam. So I assure you that. So that is our system, and we have been doing it over and over and over. So and our students have been sharing a lot of testimony regarding students. So the same method we are using this diet as well. So I call it a success method, strategy. So now let's look at the introduction. So what they want to talk about the introduction to case study. The objective of case study is to assess a candidate understanding. Please, when you have your pen there, I expect that you should jot something down. So because I don't know, unless you are not at home, maybe you are on the road, but if you are at home, try to jot something down. That I know I'll be telling you some things, so you need to jot it as well. It might not be in my presentation. The objective of the case study is to assess candidates' understandings of more complex interrelated business issues, the ability to analyze financial and non-financial data, exercise judgment, and develop conclusions and recommendations. Now, what this one is saying the objectives of case study to assess candidate understanding of more complex interrelated business issues. So this is telling you and me that the case study that they are going to test you for that exam is a real life scenario, is a business issues. So it's different from SBR, it's different from SFM. So it's a business issue that needs students to understand and attend to. So, but the issue there is that you now need to be able to understand how can I do the financials and non-financials data provided for me. So how can I make judgment, recommendation, and conclusion based on the information released to me? So that is one thing. Then each case study is based on the real life situations and generally centered on the request for advice or assistance. So what he's saying is that every case study given to you is a real life scenario. Is a problem that once happened to a client that the examiner is now testing their student for on. So it's going to be is either of the two, either center for advice or assistance, either from your client or your boss. So that is where the type of report will come in. That is where the types of report will come in. You will now know the type of the report you are going to write for that particular exam. The examination's requirements will involve evaluation and practical discussions on current commercial issues. You must be able to identify the key issues relevant to the case. That is, you must understand and deal with the requirements of the case in your report. Now, what he's saying is that the requirement will come in two ways. So you will be evaluating some projects. You'll be evaluating, it depends on whatever the examiner want to ask you. It could be proposal, investment, anything. They can ask anything. But basically on the current issues in the industry. So that's what the examiner wants. They want you to relate it basically on the current issue in that industry, and not necessarily means that you are bringing information aside from the paper given to you. No, that's not what I mean. So what I mean is that you are using the paper provided, using the current things that is there, then using your own knowledge you have gained from foundation skills, professional. So you use all these level skills, everything to what to bring it into your case study exam. So that is why you will see that is the last paper on that week. So it's the last exam. So they are expecting that that you have passed all the papers, so you should come and use all the experience in this exam. Do you understand? That is what it means. Now, we now need to move on to what are the skills for me to be successful in this type of exam. There are some skills that you need to possess. There are some skills that you need to have that can easily make you to write a good report. Please, I know what I'm saying. Please be serious at this time, because I don't want our foundation to be somehow rotten. So I want to lay a good foundation so that you understand what you are going to.
So we can't hear you.
Yeah, let's hold on. Maybe it's network. Hold on.
Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes. We can hear you. We can hear you, sir.
Okay.
We can hear you. Go on. We can hear you. We can hear you.
You can hear me. When I didn't hear anybody, that's why I said maybe you guys are not hearing.
We can hear you now. Go on. Go on. We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear him? Please respond.
No.
Okay, can't hear him anymore. Yeah, I think he has been asking if you can hear him, but maybe we join again. Let's see.
Okay.
It should be network from his end.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry that. I think maybe it's network.
Uh, but we can't see your
Okay.
screen.
Let me share my screen. So can you see now?
Yes.
Please, where do you hear me last?
Requirement to be successful in case study. That's where you stop.
Okay, thank you. Skills to be successful in this case study exam. So I want to lay emphasis as far as possible so that we understand what you are going to face in the exam. So, but when you get this foundation, I am sure you that you are getting the right thing. Now, the first skill you need to know is this. It says that identification of business, technical, and ethical issues. Now, before you go into the exam, they will give you, now they used to have pre-seen and unseen. They will give you a pre-seen 2 weeks to your exam. Even, let me say, before you attempt any case study exam, the first thing you need to ask yourself is this. You need to have the skills of identification that which type of business is it? You ask yourself question. Do you understand? You ask yourself question, which type of business is this? Which sector is this? Because when you know the type of business and the sector that the business is, so you know the implication, that you know the technicality that is involved in that type of business. Then you also know the ethical things that's involved in such a business. When you are able to identify that, oh, this business is a conventional business sector, this company is a cement sector, this one is the oil and gas sector, then you ask another question: how technical does the sector is? How technical does the industry is? Then what are the ethical issues usually surround this type of company or this type of sectors? You begin to ask a lot of questions yourself, and all these questions you are asking yourself, answer is there. Why is it necessary to ask yourself all these questions? For you, so that you can write good report. When you have understand the type of business you are dealing with, you understand the technicality how it is, then you also understand the ethical issues around it, so that when you are reading the story, when you are reading the case, you already understand it. Do you understand? You already what? Understand it. That is the purpose of you identifying the type of business you are dealing with. Are you guys getting me now? Then the next one you also need to know is application of the technical knowledge to identify issues in the case scenario. You now need to identify issues. You need to know how to identify issues. If there is no issue in that particular case study, there will not be requirement. Because there is an issue. That is why the examiner can bring up requirements. So you need to understand that there's a reason for me to identify issues. So you pick us these issues. These issues are the one you are to attend to. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
These
Yes,
are
sir.
the issues that you are going to attend to. Because if you are where students usually have issue is that unable to identify issues. They will say, I didn't see anything special in this statement. And when there are issues, but some students didn't see it. So you need to have the skill of when something is having problem. That is why they call us a professional. Do you understand? You should know when something is right, when something is not right. And you have to have a perspective of the right ethics, because you are going there as a professional, and there's a guide, there's a code of conduct that guide every profession, most especially accountant. So we are only responsible based on on the guideline that is guiding us, those codes of conduct that is guiding us. So meaning that you are going to that exam on the right perspective that says that your client must do something well, or your company must do something right. So if you are seeing something that is not that right, you bring it up as an issue. And when you are talking about issue here, issue can come in different angle. Issue can come through non-financials or through financials. It can come through financials or non-financial. So it's not necessary that you are expecting that you will not be expecting that they should tell you that company is saying is doing something before you are able to identify issues. At times, the narrative aspect of the case study will be silent. A lot of issue will be embedded in the financials. So if you are unable to analyze financial statement, you are on your own at that time, because a lot of issues are there. Then examiner is expecting you to bring those issues out for them. Hope I'm communicating, right? Please, if you are
Yes,
having
sir.
any question, let me know on time before we move down there. What's supposed to, so I want to be breaking it down as much as possible so that you understand it. Okay, that is the second one, right? Now we are moving to the third one. The third one is understanding the business situation. Understanding the business situation where it's located in its life cycle. You need to understand the business where it's located in its life cycle. Now, when you are talking about the where it's located in its life cycle, you know, we all pass through skill level, unless some people that their school has a exemption that they do not pass through skill. But most of the students that did the CSMU, you have a particular topic that talks about life cycle, BCG. Do you understand? So now this one is talking about that angle now. Why did I need to understand the business situation? Why? You need to understand because the way you will treat those business will be different from each other. The way you will treat those issues will be different from each other. If a business is at the startup stage, the way you treat it is different from the way you will treat maturity's business. The way we treat maturity business will be different from the declining stage business. Like that, like that. That is reason why you also need to ask yourself question: which stage does this business belong? Which situation? Which in the life cycle? Is it at the growth stage? Is it at the maturity stage? At the decline stage? Or at the startup date? Because if they are giving me in a business that is as a startup date within 2 years, so if I see them making loss, I will not bother. Why? Because what I will only be bothered about is that does the business has potentials? Because I know that at the startup state, there's a lot of expenses that the company will incur, research and develop, a lot of promotional expenses that the company will incur for awareness of the product. So that will result them to what? To make loss. But when that same company has gotten to maturity stage, why are they still making loss? So I will ask a question. What happened? Is it a management issue? Is it economic reaction? Is it a policy changes? What is the issue? So all these questions you are asking yourself will help you to what? To identify issue in this situation they are giving, in the narrative things they are giving to you. When you are able to ask questions, you will be able to identify issues. But if you are unable to ask questions, it will be difficult for you to what? To identify issues. Am I still communicating?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So that is the reason why you need to understand. Immediately they are giving you are able to understand the type of business, how technicality it is, the ethical issues around the business. Then you are begin to identify issues. Then for you to identify issue now, you now need to what? To know the business situation where it lies in its life cycle. Do you understand? So because it will help you to identify that issue. Then the next one is that understanding of business scenarios and wider issues. Understanding the business scenario, that business issue itself, you need to understand it. What does this business talking about? What is the issue behind this business? What does the examiner even what are they looking up to? What is the management looking up to? So what is the business issues? Then what are the wider issues? So the wider issues we'll be talking about that it doesn't really peculiar only to that company given to you. Please listen to this place. When I'm talking about the wider issue, I'm saying it's not only peculiar to the company given to you. So it's a general thing that happened in that same industry. Meaning that if you have company A, B, C, D in an oil and gas industry, so that same thing that happened to company A, B, C, D is what we call wider issues. Do you understand? Meaning that if company A, B, C, D is making profit, if company ABC is making profit, I expect companies D also to also make profit. If company ABC is making loss, I expect that D also should make loss. They are the wider things that happen in that industry. And most at times, the wider things that usually happen that make them to loss, that results to loss, or that results to profit for them, it could be the policy changes, it could be economic skyrocketing, it could be a lot of things that happens in the economy. So you need to understand how can I construct my wider context statement when you understand the business you are dealing with. Okay, number 5. Understanding of appropriate tools for analysis. Understanding of appropriate tools for analysis. Now, when you are talking about tools, let me quickly ask some question from us here. What are the tools that you think? Because when you say carpenter, when you say different vocational job, they have their tools, but we accountants, we also have our tools. But we as an accountant, what is our tools? Are you guys still with me?
Yes,
So
we're
what is
still with
our
you.
tool?
What do you say?
What is the tool for accountants? Tool for analysis for accountants.
Choose for analysis of content. We have idea.
Oh, we did not have tools. If you say carpenter now, they have tools now. So does that mean that accountant did not have tools? Don't you
Let's
have
We
say
tools?
have
financial
to.
reporting.
You say
Observation is one of our tools.
what is that?
Observation.
Observation. What are you observing? Why does the observation become tools? How? How
Like
now? Oh yeah,
making
yeah, explain.
inquiries, like checking, observing the situation of things, observing
See, that one is
the
just a
situation of
technical knowledge. That one is a technical knowledge. It's not a tools now.
So
Do you understand? So that one is just technical knowledge. Yeah, so it's coming from the angle of professional. You are using your professional knowledge to ask questions. So that is not tools. No, okay. When you say tools now, let me say, if you want to say what is the tool for carpenter, what are the tools for carpenter? Tools for carpenter. Let's start from that.
hammer.
Hammer, nail, a lot of things like that. So we
Yes,
accountants now. Does that mean we did not have? tools we have now. So all these two is what you are
Just
going to
give
do
me
in case study. Eh? Maybe we will now go and borrow hammer from carpenter and bring it to case study exam. So you say we borrow carpenter tools so that we want to use it as tools for our analysis. Hmm? So to be serious, we all know all these tools. We all know it now. So but some of us we don't want to talk. So we as
Of
cadets,
like questionnaire.
Source document, bank,
questionnaire, source document, okay,
bank statement.
okay.
Supporting documents and all that.
So, please, I have question. What's your name? That the person that is talking. What is your name? Hello, hello. Please let me know the person that is talking. I have a question for you. That's why I'm asking your name. Hello.
We are many that is talking.
Eh?
No, sir. I said we are
I hear some people
many that is
saying
talking.
bank statement, source document. Those people that mentioned that. So what is that person's name now? Let me know. I ask question. Well, that's what I'm asking. I'm asking.
Okay, I mentioned supporting documents.
You also mentioned bank statement now.
I'm not the one.
So, so okay, let me generalize my question. I wanted to ask that, are you people external auditor? Well, they are the one that usually ask us so all those questions. That's why. So so I'm just joking anyway. Now let's go straight to that. So we have played enough on that from that angle. So now what I mean by our tools, this is what I mean. The first one is your FS, financial statement. Do you understand? And when you are talking about FS, it contains a lot of things, right? It contains a lot of things. Your income, financial position, cash flow, value added, it changes in equity, to the account, and so on and so forth. Then that is not only that tools. Then we have ratios, trend analysis, common size, MPV. So a lot of things like that. They are tools that you can use for analysis. Do you understand? That means when you are putting it down, you are able to analyze some things and get results. That is becomes our tools. Do you understand? So that is what we call. So you must know how to what select the appropriate tools. They will give you requirements, so you must use the appropriate tools that fit that requirement, that fit the requirement. They are not saying go and do gross profit margin. So but you don't know gross profit margin now, you now go and do current ratio. You say that is what you know. It doesn't relate with the requirement. So that has become an issue, because and what they did not ask now, who will now mark that one? So they won't mark it now because they did not ask what you are saying. That's why at times you will see some students, they will write a lot of things, they will still fail because what they are writing, examiner did not ask for it. They are just writing on their own. They want to empty their mind in the exam. But if you want to empty your mind, empty the good thing so that you can get the right mark. So what I'm saying in essence is this: select the appropriate tools for analysis based on the requirements asking from you. So after you have that, then the next one is the use of relevant data, identification of interrelationship, and gathering new ideas and information. Now, use relevant data, I mean relevant data. See, they can give you as much as exhibit as you like, as much as pages as you like. You can up to 30 pages and more than that. But it's not everything that is relevant. You need to know that it's not all what they are giving to you is relevant. There are some information there that just to divert our attention. Is the what? So just divert your attention. So it's part of the skill you need to also acquire, that you need to get, how can I get what? The relevant information, relevant data to use. At times, examiner can be so generous, they can reference those relevant appendices where you can use their data. But at times, they will just leave you like that. They will say, well, maybe you are a professional now. So go and check it yourself and get the relevant data that you want to use. So that is the issue in that. So, but you must know how to get the relevant data and work with it. So that is that on that angle. Then select. Okay, I think we have number 7, right? Development of relevant and appropriate analysis using financial and non-financial data provided. So now, development of relevant and appropriate analysis using financial and non-financial data provided. Now you now need to develop a what? Appropriate analysis, appropriate appendices. You are going to use financials and non-financial data provided, meaning that you are not using only financials alone. You are still going to use non-financial. So where there is a need for you to do the strategic business analysis, that is talking about from the angle of what? Non-financials. But make sure you have appropriate heading for it. Even in your report, have appropriate heading for it. You don't lump everything together. Some students will just scatter everything. Remember that it's human being that marks your paper. Even if it is automatic computer, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you write something that is not clear, if you did not understand it, will give you dot 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 dot, because they did not understand. So likewise, human being. That is why they mark clarity in this type of exam. They mark clarity. Do you understand? So any heading you are using, any heading, any analysis you have done, you have already you have done with, make sure you have appropriate heading, appropriate analysis. So if you are dealing with profitability, deal with it. Let's examine that this is profitability. If you are dealing with ratio, maybe ratio generally, let the examiner know that you are dealing with ratios. If you are dealing with SWOT, let the examiner know that this is SWOT. If you are dealing with MPV, let the examiner know that this is MPV. Do you understand? That is appropriate analysis in your appendix. Automatically your appendix is what you are bringing into what? Into your report. You are bringing the end result of your appendix to your report. Do you understand? So meaning that the final result that you have in your appendix is what you are bringing into what? Into your main report. So that by referencing it, you also reference it. Appendix 1, appendix 2, appendix, so like that. So you reference like that. That is that on that. Okay. Another one we have. Hope I'm still with you, or you are still with me.
Yes.
Okay. Another one is application of professional skepticism and demonstration of ethical awareness and understanding. Now you need to now know that you need to demonstrate, you need to apply professional skepticism. That is where someone is saying observation at that time. So your observations, you have observed. What you observed, you can put it in writing. But there's a place we call professional skepticism in case study. It means that, or can someone just tell us what professional skepticism is? Can we hear from some people? Professional skepticism. Hello. Professional skepticism. Are we here?
We are here.
Oh yeah. I'm asking question. Professional skepticism. Madam Damilola. Is it Madam Adebola? And you like be calling him? Nobody is telling me. So if you refuse to tell me, I will tell myself. Mm. Eh, I don't want to. I want to ensure that we are all carried along. Okay. So can you still see my screen? Hello.
No,
You cannot see,
we
right?
can't see your screen. I can hear
Okay.
you. We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Okay.
Now,
Sorry. Let
now,
me. So okay, let's move on. So if we are talking about the professional, I hope you can see by now. If you are talking about professional skepticism, the application of professional skepticism. So professional skepticism is the act of questioning mind. You are doubting the accuracy, the integrity of the data provided to you. So in a real life scenario, if a client is giving you information to treat like that, regardless of whatever paper they have provided to you, you will still ask question. Why are you asking? To what? To clear doubts. Do you understand? To clear doubt. So this is exam, but you have no opportunity to ask question from the examiner or from even the invigilator that sorry uncle invigilator, sorry this examiner that put one here, is it not two they want to put? Do you understand? You have no right. So they even if you have that invigilator, the invigilator will tell you do whatever you see there. Do you understand? So and that is where you now need to come so we have a place for what we call professional skepticism. So professional skepticism is just to clear your doubt. So that means you are doubting the accuracy of information given to you, or you are expecting more of information being restricted from you. So you are also going to discuss that. That is professional skepticism. Hope you get it too. So you also demonstrate that you understand the ethical awareness in that particular industry, in that business, in that particular company. You understand it very well. You demonstrate that you understand it. That, oh, the ethical thing that is happening here, you understand it. And then evaluation of outcomes of analysis, provisions of clear judgments based on your work. So you evaluate your outcomes of analysis. You evaluate it. How have you performed? How does the company perform so long? So long? Are they performing well based on your what? Analysis? Then you can make judgment on it. So and the judgment will now make what? Will now lead you to your conclusion. Will now lead you to what? Your conclusion. So and your development of clear conclusion statement and the statement of any reservation. So when you are now make judgment, you make conclusion that okay, based on your what or your analysis, you have done this, you have done that, you have done this, you have done that. We come to conclusion that this business is growing, it has increased in revenue over the 2 years. The cost is too much. The cost of operation is too much. A lot of conclusion like that. You begin to conclude, you begin to what? To make conclusion. Then your conclusion will now lead into what we call recommendation, because what you conclude on is what you want to what? Make recommendation upon. If you don't have the technique, so at times students lump the two together. They will lump conclusion and recommendation together. By the time they get to the place of conclusion recommendation, they have issue, because they have already put everything together in one. And do not forget that every appropriate heading has its own mark. Conclusion has their mark, recommendation has, so every heading has their what? Have their own marks. Get it? They have their own marks. Are you getting it? So after you make your conclusion, you also go to what? To your recommendation based on what you have concluded. Then the last one in that angle says that what? Production of well-structured, tactical, and objective report, which will include an executive summary, an appropriate appendices, using suitable language to communicate your idea to your audience. Hello, are you still hearing me?
Yes.
The reason why I'm shouting, are you still hearing me, is because I will know if I'm the only one hearing myself. So that's why I used to shout that. So a well-structured report says that you need to have a structure for your report. There's a structure that you must follow, that must be tactical and be in objectives. So there's a reason why the examiner asks questions, asks requirements. So it's an objective case study. So you need to understand how. So when you are reporting, make it to be so objective report. So attempt to what the requirements are all about. That's what it means. I mean, you are attempting to what you are attempting to. You are answering what the requirement is all about. So which include the executive summary and appropriate appendix. So meaning that they are also going to do executive summary. So separate from your report. Executive summary separate from your what? Your report. You must know that you are going to do what we call executive summary. So by no means, do not miss that executive summary, because it's very important. Very, very important. So the moment students miss that, so for them to pass, it's becoming slim. It's becoming very slim. So get it. So the executive summary, I'm going to give all the structure I'm talking about. I will also explain everything regarding to the structure that I will advise you to use for your exam, even for the practice when they are giving the practice exam assignment or classwork. So I will advise to follow it so that you can master it before the exam. So that is all these things, that the skill that you need to know. Then the suitable language to communicate your idea to your work, to your audience. So know a suitable language, clear and be precise language. So meaning that you don't make use of informal words, so or slang or abbreviations. So you are writing report, you are writing exam. So note that. So you are not writing to your friends. You are right. Either you are writing internal or external. This is exam based, right? So, but in a real life scenario, they will tell you if you are still writing internal report, you can make use of informal language, right? That means maybe you use slang or whatever. So, but this is exam. Either you are writing external or internal report, you use standard English. You use standard English. Slang is not allowed. So that is it. That's what I know regarding to exam. But they expect you to speak so because when you are speaking Latin, is it Latin you like call it or so the examiner will know they will just think that maybe you don't know what you want to say. You are speaking broken and mixed English. So they said, what is this now? So they want to mark English, not broken, not abbreviation. So like that, like that. Any question so far? Yeah, let's ask question. You must ask question. Or I should go and call your name and ask question.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, sir. I know you said you give us a structure, but I'm just curious to know, does the executive summary come before the main report or after?
Yes, it come before the main report.
Yes, sir.
Yes, there's a structure you for it come before.
Okay,
You
sir.
know,
Thank you.
executive summary is what people see before your report. So the reason for it is that they believe that some people they don't have time. So executive summary is for executive people who have no time to read a cumbersome report. So it need to be up. So the moment they see, the moment they read it through, they should be able to see the highlight of what you want to discuss in your report. That is why we call it executive summary. So I mean you are summarizing all your reports in this 2 page or 1 page or 3 page. Like if you have like 30 page, summarize it to 2 page. That's what you are saying, executive summary.
Okay, sir.
So
Thank
but
you,
it
sir.
will come before your main report. Mm.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Ask now. The ark of Noah is going. No question at this. Should I ask you? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any question, but I just want to ask these notes should be you are going to share it after class, Abi?
I will still share for you now. I will give you. Maybe I will give you now. But it might not be now. Oh. But sure,
Okay.
you are entitled to it.
Yeah.
That's why I also say be jotting. If you are where you can jot.
I jotted
I'm
songs, but
very
not
sure
everything.
I will share with you. But it might not be today. Reason why or the only thing I can do is that maybe the one I take you today, I can send that one today. So instead of sending everything. Because this what I'm going to take you for the whole diet is there now. So what is the essence of me sending all the thing that I'm going to teach you now? I will. You know, some
No,
students will not even come to class today. They will say, I got the
no,
material.
just
What do you want to go do for class?
just try to share the one that you taught us today. So we
Eh?
won't be doing like that. I said just try to share us the one that you taught us today. We should be doing
Okay.
like that.
Okay. See, let me tell you, case study is different from SFM. If you miss my class, you miss a lot. See, you will see that I'm joking amidst of it. That is how you can enter your brain. That is why see, because I have deal with different students, I know how it happens, and so it's not by cheating to lecturing. So because one thing about case study class is that it need to be well interactive. Because if it's not interactive, students will not get what you are putting through to them. Because we are dealing with practical aspects. It's what you want to go and write in the exam. So we need to discuss this amongst ourselves. So when you get the challenge like that, how do you treat it? So you need to be well interactive so that when you get there, you remember everything we have discussed in the class. Then you use it as well as part of the experience. So that is purpose of me relaxing like that, playing like that, so that we can come along with me. So that is why I'm doing like that. Yeah, don't mind me. Oh. So assuming that we are having physical class, that you will have laughed tired now. So okay, oh. Then we let's move on, right? Type of report. type of report. We have internal and external reports. We have internal and external reports. I supposed to give you the example. Now, but let me just tell you the difference. Or can I see edit this thing? And you can take us to another level if I edit now. This my app is saying something other time. I know. Let me try. Try. Can I edit it now? I cannot edit. So I can't edit now. I need to take it through another app. So, but don't worry. What I want to just tell you is that I want to show you the level, the difference of that example of that type of report. But you will still get it. So let me go and check one of my reports. So, but let me explain it first. When you are talking about internal reports, internal report is talking about it's talking in form of internal memo, right? That means you are writing within organization to your boss. You know, I remember when I'm doing that introduction, I say that so it will be centered on the request for advice, either either through your client or your boss. So that is where the type of report comes in. So you need to know that the type of, so every diet examiner will decide which report you are using. You are going to write for that particular diet. Do you understand? So, and the funniest thing is that it's not examiner that will tell you it's the internal report or external report you are going to write. You will determine it yourself. Examiner have already said whatever they want to say. They know that you are writing internal or external. But now you yourself, you need to also know how to identify it. Oh, this diet I'm writing external. This diet I'm writing internal. Do you understand? So the difference is that one we have the heading like something like letterhead. That is external report. Because external report means that you are writing to external people outside the organization. So you prepare it as if you are preparing. You know, when you want to write something to either government or your client outside, you put it on letterhead now. Address, everything will be there. So I usually tell my students that they can add the address. They can also add phone number, but it's not necessary that the phone number and the address should be correct. Do you understand? Because very likely the examiner will not give you the address and the phone number. So you just frame it yourself. It's not necessary to be correct. Don't put your phone number. Just write zero. You know, just form it anyhow. Just form any address so that it will look real as if it's a what? It's a letterhead paper. Do you understand? So that is one of it. Then the second difference is that one is compulsory to have disclaimer, the other one does not have. So for internal auditor, for internal report, it's not necessary for you to have disclaimer. But for external report, it's very important for you to have disclaimer. Very important for you to have it. Very important for you to have it. Now, okay, that is I think that is the difference. So, and what is going to be this thing? You are going to have heading, to form, subject, date, disclaimer. That's all. So that is all. Let me check something. So if you can, I didn't supposed to come here. So it has taken me back. Sorry, don't mind me. I want to check something for you here. Maybe I can see some. I know there's a time I did this so many things. So this is external reports. This is external report format. You see, this is what we call cover page. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the external report. You will see that this one, it has Adewale, Okechukwu, Ghana and Co. Chartered accountant, number 10 Agidi with that on the estate. So that address was just formed. I just formed it. Then two, then we have prepare by, subject, date, then disclaimer. This is the disclaimer I'm talking about. So disclaimer, it didn't necessary to write it as disclaimer. We just feature us in a sentence like this. This report is prepared for the board of directors of Spice Restaurants Limited, and it is intended for their use only. We shall not accept any liability arise from third party who relied on the content of this report without due authorization. So that is all about the cover page of what? Of the external report. Let me check for the internal report whether I will see it here. Okay, this is internal report. Can you see? You will see Jaga technology, right? I put memo. Can you all see it, right? Hello, can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you will see it now. So I put memo. I put the name of the company up. So wait. So I put Jaga Technology PLC. That's the name of the company. Then the memo, that's in terms of the internal report. Then the share to the shareholders of Jagadega Technology PLC from Finance Department report, that is the subject, report on the financial position and business analysis using the Federal chain. Then December, so date. Then for internal reports, I said the disclaimer is not that necessary. Do you understand? So I just put this. This report is meant for the internal use only. Do you understand? I just put it. You might decide to put, you might decide not to put anything. So, but disclaimer is not important in internal report, but it is very important in external report. Do you understand? So that is that on that one. So I think I'm clear by that, right? So okay. So I'm trying to just send it later. This one. So sorry, just 1 minute. I'm trying to bring something in order so that okay. So that is that. So I have that now. So I can send to the group. So that is that on that. So let me quickly explain the other one to you. So we have also what we call type of format that you can use. Type of format that you can use. I think I should even show you from there also. We have two type of format that you can use. So we have two type of format. We have letter format and schematic format. We have letter format and schematic format. So the letter format is that you will see the way I write here. I said issues. I put 1, I put 2, I put 3, like that, like that. You know, there are some things that you will write. You will write 1:1, 1:1, 1:2, like that. So that is what we call schematic format. But the letter format will just be talking that you are checking it by paragraphing. So you are separating it by paragraph. So let me show you. Hello, are you guys still with me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Now this report is a letter format. You will see that I just do everything with paragraph. This one, I just separate with paragraph. I just separate with paragraph. You see, I start my introduction, my report, so I do it by paragraph. Now see this one now. This one is talking about from the angle of schematic that you have when you have 4.0, 4.1, 2.0, something like that, you know, like a secretary work now. So, but I prefer using that, what is it called? The letter format, because I just like that one actually. So, but you can decide to use anyone actually. So anyone is acceptable in your what? In your report. Anyone is acceptable in your report for this particular exam. Anyone is acceptable. Is that, but make sure that you are anyone you are using, make sure you use it through. So not that you are using schematic and you now move to letter. Yeah, you are using letter format, you now move, you are just moving up and down. No. So you can stick to one so that you be consistent as well. So just stick to one. Any question regards to that? Any question? Hello, any question? Hello? Hello?
We can hear you, sir. I guess they don't have any question.
Eh? Eh?
Can hear you, but I guess they don't have any question.
Okay. Okay. Oh. So I hope, have you guys get anything today? Or should I start over?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I should start over, right?
No.
No, don't start over. We are getting something much.
Okay. Oh. He said I should not start over. This is where that. So, so now, let me quickly talk about this and we call it a day. Do you understand? Let me just talk. I will just speak a little about the definition of time. Although, though, all this definition of terms, I've tried to explain it in my introduction. So, because I know that I will still send you all this material, so that's why I'm still saying. So why you have already seen it here now. Let me just explain it a little. But I have explained some of it in my introduction for you. Now, the definition of that, the one you have here, we have issues. You know, I shout issue everywhere now. So what are those things, issues we are talking about? So these are parameters that we are testing to help us, that testing to help us arrive at a position concerning an overall requirements. So that's why I mentioned that, because there's a reason for requirement, there's a reason, that means there is an issue. So if there's no requirement, there will not be an issue. I mean, if there's no issue, there will not be requirement. So because there is issue, that is where examiner was able to set requirement. Requirement and issue are related. It's because there is an issue. That is why we have requirement. Do you understand? So, and you need to have the skill to identify those issues. So, and part of the skill that you need to adopt is that as a professional, you have the right mind of right perspectives that your client or your company that you are working with must do things right, so that when you are dealing with business issue, when you are reading it through, you will be able to say that, oh, this one maybe they are not doing it here right here, or this is a business issue. This is it. This is so you'll be able to identify it. That is issue. Then we have what we call options as well. When there is an issue in the case study, then what are the options available for us to deal with the issues? Options is when we want to pick among several choices that can serve us better. So when when there is an issue, for example, when a company is having issue of loss, maybe they are making loss and they need capital to raise. Part of the choice option could be that, okay, can we raise equity? Can we raise debts to run the company? So these are options. So is it capital restructuring? Can we go through capital restructuring? Or what are the things that a company can do? So you can have different options. So options, but you must know out of the options you are picking must fit that particular thing you want to do. Do you understand? You must pick it. So these are the options that must have. So because that is why that student report usually different from another person's report. What I mean is that when you have a lot of students in the hall, your report will usually be different from each other, because student A will use one option, student B will use one option. So the option might not be the same, but you will get to the same results. So, and one thing about case study is that all way is way. Both negatives and positives, they are always, but it now depends the way you are able to analyze it. That's what determine what you get as mark. If you are able to defend wrong, maybe you are defending that this is this, you are defending, you analyze it very well, and you are able to defend. That is like lawyer now. When you have a court this thing, and you have witness, and you are able to defend your this thing, they will say, well, you are free because you are able to defend yourself. So that is the case study. So if you are able to defend what you are presenting, so meaning that you will get your mark. Then the professional skepticism, I've already mentioned it to us. So this is the act of questioning mind, having inquisitive mind, having doubt about the integrity and accuracy of the information provided. So that is professional skepticism. So you are going to have a paragraph for it that you will discuss that. You are going to discuss all the professional skepticism that you observed in that particular scenario, particular business issues. Then analysis. This is the process if working with data provided to help you make information you can input in your report. It can be in form of calculation, collecting of data, gathering of data. So when you are talking about analysis, it can be in form of gathering data, a lot of ways you can use to do your analysis. So all those way of gathering data, your appendices is part of it. So that is your analysis. Then your wider context. This is a positive. This is positive or negative thing that affect the industry in general. I explained this one also the other time. So it's what happen to companies generally. So it's not peculiar to one company alone. So it's peculiar to every company under each sector. That means company A to D in one sector, things must happen to them to the same time. So even though they want to make a different profit, but it should not be. So you will know that if they have challenge, you will see it in another companies that is the same sector. Do you understand? That is wider content. The evaluation is to weight the events surrounding the causes, and projecting into the effects it can cause in the future strategy. This usually is done by identifying internal causes of particular issues and then try to relate with external factors cause it. So evaluation, at times the examiner will say evaluate this, evaluate this. So it's coming from the angle of proposal or project. They can say you should evaluate project, evaluate new products. So it could be so, but the issue is that you are using strategy to evaluate it, so know the future strategy that they can put in place. So that is the evaluation. Then judgment. This is your opinions on how to improve performance. It can also be decision on what investment option should be pursued. So that is your judgment. Then conclusion. This is the profiles answer. This profiles answer to your requirement. All other aspects of your report before conclusion shows details and dirty works, while conclusion is a final summary of what you have been doing. So it's just a final summary of what you are been doing. Then recommendation. This is the practical things that can be done to improve performance or to implement a particular option. So that's your conclusion based on recommendation. Your recommendation based on conclusion is practical things that can be done to improve performance. So that is all the little terms that you need to also understand in case study. So I think I am okay by now. I don't know whether you are also okay. So that next week we can move on the structures of the report. I know when you are getting to the structure, it's telling you that you are getting to practical aspect of the report. My strategy is that I don't like writing. I don't like reading. Just tell me wetin could make me pass and let me pass and go away. So that is my own strategy. But if you want to read, I can supply you some material. You will read. But just it's going to be unfortunate that all what you are going to read in that textbook will not be there in the exam. So that is that on this tonight's lecture. So any question?
So I have a question.
Yeah,
Actually, two
go on.
questions.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the options that is options that any student will use. If I'm using an option, it's different from another student's option.
Yes.
Does that mean that I cannot have more than one option on how to go about it, or I must just stick to only one option?
No, it doesn't mean now. It depends on your time now. You can stick to most option as you want. But
Okay.
if you are able to pick one option that is good for you, why are you? There's no time. There's a lot of report you want to write. So on one issue, you will now be writing a lot of options. No time now. Just pick the relevant option and go away from it.
Okay, sir.
So examiner will not say use one option or use 10 options. You can use 100 options. Just give us results. That is what concerns the examiner. But for you that want to pass, you know that one issue you are using different option for is not only issue you are going to attempt to in the exam. So just imagine one issue has already taken you 1 hour. So how will you solve the other issue? So that's when the time management will now come. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So so that you now use be wise that but I will not take time on this option. So the moment I use one best option on this, then I move to another issue and discuss it. That is that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Oh yeah, all right, let's talk. Ark of Noah is good. Yeah. So if there's no other question, I will say we should go and rest. Tomorrow is work for those people that is going to work. For those of us that is going to work, that we can go and rest well. At least we have a lot of stress during the weekend. They'll do event lecture here and there, even Sunday lecture. Some people go to church, as from church, they still end out with their class. A lot of stress has comes in. So let us just go and rest. Sleep well, eat well, and rest well, and read well. So That is it. So, you don't need to panic for case study. Just whatever instruction I'm giving, try to follow it. So you will see it's going to result to success. So I think that's what I have for tonight. So next week, Mr. Aleki, are you here with us? So okay, well, thank you. Bye bye. Mr. Aleki, help us.